So to prepare yourself for your practice, let's come seated towards the front of our chairs. Close the eyes, concentrate on the breath, and notice how the breath is moving today. Observe the alignment of the spine. Observe the connection between the seat and the seat of the chair. Begin to gradually deepen the breath, taking the breath more deeply into the lower reaches of the lungs. Increasing the movement of the diaphragm to help deepen the breath. Activating the primary breathing muscle, which is the diaphragm. Now continue to deepen the breath by expanding the ribs as well as expanding the belly. Even out the flow of the breath. And then begin to extend the exhale breath. And I'm not going to give you a count today. I want you to use your own internal count to first even the breath. So take 4 breaths to even the breath, and then take 4 breaths to extend it. And then we'll begin our practice. So inhale. 2. 3. 4. Now extend the exhale. And you can extend it either 2 counts extra or 4 counts extra. I'm going to do 8 count exhale. Final round. Inhale. Let's bring the arms to the side, stack the spine, and on the next inhale breath, raise the arms overhead and draw the hands back to heart center. Let's go up for 2. 2. 3. And come back to heart center. Take the arms down to the side, and now we're going to move the arms forward or up and down rather than out to the side. So inhale, right arm up for 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, and 12, and 12. Bring the hands to rest on the thighs. We'll move from here into some cat-cow moves to warm up the spine. So inhale, lift the spine, tilt the pelvis forward, and then exhale, round the spine towards the back of the chair. Inhale forward for 2, 2, 3, 3, and 4, and 4. Come back to center. Again, stack the spine. And let's take that awareness from the 2 points of contact to the seat of the chair. Trace that awareness through the pelvis into the keystone of the sacrum, and then visualize each of the spinal vertebrae stacking one on top of the next, going through the lumbar spine, through the thoracic spine, through the cervical spine to the base of the skull. Let's begin to warm up that cervical spine. Drop the neck into the notch of the 2 collarbones, and inhale, bring the head back to center. Exhale into the notch. Inhale back to center. Exhale for 3, 3, 4, 4, and 5, and 5. We'll continue to work on the neck, going towards the right shoulder for 1, left for 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. Come back to the right shoulder. Let's take both hands, point the fingers towards the floor, draw the shoulder blades back slightly, and just check in on that alignment of the spine one more time, and take the fingers of the right hand above the left ear and gently move the right ear towards the shoulder. Breathe here. And try not to tug on the hand. Just keep reaching those left fingertips towards the floor, working on the stretch on the left side of the neck. Bring the head back to center. Lower the right fingertips. Bring the left fingertips above the right ear. Draw the left ear towards the left shoulder. Make sure we're keeping that neck in line with the spine, and gently stretch the right fingertips towards the floor, getting a good stretch down the right side of the neck. Inhale, return the head to center. Let's interlace the fingers. Bring the interlaced fingers behind the back of the head. Take the arms out to the side. Draw the shoulder blades together on the back. And then press the head into the resistance of the hands. So no visible movement here, but quite a strong effort, strengthening the muscles at the back of the neck. Release. And let's release the arms down. Inhale the arms overhead one more time. Interlace the fingers. Press the palms towards the ceiling. So the palms are moving up. The shoulder blades are moving down. The side body is moving up, but the shoulder blades are moving down. Bring the arms in front. Interlace the fingers and stretch the hands out towards me. Let the shoulders slide away from the spine and then draw the shoulder blades. Feel the shoulder blades move together on the back. Exhale, and let's bring the hands back onto the thighs. Once again, the hands come to the side body. Inhale the arms overhead. Interlace the fingers, and this time point the index fingers towards the ceiling. And exhale, arc towards the right side. Inhale, come up, arc left. Inhale, return to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, return to center. Exhale, left. Return to center. Exhale, right. And come back to center. Exhale, left. Release the hands. Bring the left hand to the outside of the right thigh. Snuggle the right wrist towards the base of the right spine, or up towards the sacrum, and twist towards our left side. Twisting right. Again, remember this is our first twist, so it doesn't have to be the deepest twist. Inhale, raise the arms overhead. Bring the right hand to the outside of the left thigh. Snuggle the left wrist towards the sacrum and twist. Draw both shoulder blades back as we come into the twist and concentrate the effort from the twist into the oblique muscles of the core. Inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Let's take one cat-cow breath to continue to mobilize the spine. Inhaling, lifting the sternum. Exhaling, rounding back. Inhale, come back to that neutral spine. And let's take the hands onto the lower ribs. Just wrap the fingers around the lower ribs. And glide the lower ribs to the right side, left, or right, left, right, left, and come back to center. Interlace the fingers. Wrap the hands around the right shin, or use your strap. Point the right toes towards the floor, and then flex the toes towards the shin. Point and flex. Point and flex. Point and flex. Point and flex. And then circle in one direction and circle in the opposite direction. Take the right ankle onto the left thigh, and once again, sharply flex the toes in towards the shin. You may find that the spine has rounded towards the back of the chair here. Try and strengthen up the core muscles. And just support the right knee with the right hand. Let's release the right foot to the floor. Take the hands into the non-dominant interlace and draw the right toes, or draw the left shin towards the left armpit. Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. Circle 1, 2, 3, and then circle opposite 1, 2, and 3. Take the left ankle to the right thigh, or remember an alternative, if that's the hip doesn't cooperate, you can just go down, support the left knee with the left hand, and just come. Lengthen the spine and try and use the core to support the spine as we hold for 1, 2, and 3. Let's bring the feet to the floor. Walk the feet slightly wider than hip distance. Sway both knees towards the right side. Sway both knees left for 2, and 2, and 3. Keep the knees swaying towards the right side. Bring the right hand across to the outside of the left thigh and twist towards your left side. Come back to the breath. Make sure we're into that deep yogic breath here. Inhale, bring the knees through center. Let both knees go left. Bring the left hand across to the right thigh and twist towards the right side. Inhale, come back to center. Walk the feet back to hip distance. Let's find our 2 blocks here. Place the blocks adjacent to the ankles. Let's draw our left foot back slightly towards the chair. Stretch the right foot out in front of us. Point the toes of the right foot towards the ceiling. And before we start to fold forward, grasp the edge of the chair. Draw the shoulder blades back. Make sure the spine stays long. And folding at the hip crease, come forward over the legs. Feel that stretch all the way along the back of the extended leg. Our hands may come down onto the blocks that we positioned. And we're going to take 3 full breaths in this forward folded stretch with the extended leg. And see if that release gets just a little bit deeper with each exhale breath. So inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Let's inhale, bring the feet back to center, come all the way up, and now draw the right foot back, extend the left leg in front of us. Point the left toes to the ceiling, and again, before we start to fold forward, grasp the edge of the chair and use the muscles at the back of the leg to press the heel, to engage the heel, press the heel into the floor, and then begin to fold forward. You can use the edge of the chair for support, or you may feel that you can bring the hands onto the blocks. But to bring the hands onto the blocks, don't sacrifice the integrity of the spine by rounding it forward. Keep your gaze maybe 6 to 8 feet in front of your toes. And let's stay here now for 3 full breaths. Inhale, exhale, and really consciously let that exhale help you deepen the stretch. Inhale, exhale, and 3. Inhale and exhale. Draw both feet back to center. Inhale the arms overhead. And now fold forward at the hips over the legs, bringing the hands onto the blocks or the floor. With the ribs resting on the thighs, consciously expand the belly into the resistance of the thighs. For 1, 2, and 3. Inhale, come all the way up and draw the hands back to heart center. So I hope everybody has their therapy balls, tennis balls handy. We haven't used them for a little while. So we'll do a little fascia release work, and then we'll come up and do some standing work, and from there into final relaxation. So again, beginning with our feet, let's place one of the therapy balls underneath the big toe of the right foot. And I just want you to begin to gently, well, not too gently, actually working to the point where you're feeling some resistance and you're feeling some at least mild discomfort. Heel is pressing into the mat, and we're rotating across the toe bases from the base of the little toe to the base of the big toe, and going back and forth. And now, bring that ball into the center of that space between the big toe and the little toe, and let the arch of the foot wrap around the ball. You might even bring some extra pressure to bear on the thigh. And again, let the exhale breath relax the foot. Let the exhale breath relax the foot as it wraps around the ball. Let's come up. Bring the ball to the base of the big toe. Roll it towards the heel, and then come all the way back, and then move one toe over, and just continue to roll toe to heel, heel to toe. Toe to heel, heel to toe, and toe to heel, and heel to toe. Then, again, bring some pressure onto the thigh, and randomly move the ball around the foot. And if you encounter some spots that feel a little extra resistance, feel a bit, tight or not, almost feels like a knot, stop there, concentrate on that spot. And in doing so, let those small muscles of the foot relax just a little bit more. Again, you come back, work around. Now let's come up off the ball, pick up the ball, and we're going to use the ball. We're going to work first on the inner calf. We're going to move inner shin, outer shin, and then the outer calf. So begin our work on the inner calf by working in the direction of the muscle fibers. And again, you might use the opposite leg for some leverage to increase the pressure you're able to bring onto the muscles here. And then try working across the calf muscle. And again, stop at this point that feels perhaps a bit tender. Now let's come to the inner shin. Again, we won't spend a long time here because the muscles are quite small. But when we're working here, let's just lift and lower the toes at the same time we're working up and down the inner shin. Now we're going to move to the outer shin, a bit more muscle in this area. Again, lifting and lowering the toes. And now let's move to the outer calf. Working. First, let's begin working in the direction of the muscle fibers. Again. And then work across. And now let's move from here and move up onto the thigh. So we're going to now begin working on the quads, so those muscles on the upper side, the anterior side of the calf, of the thigh. Again, working along the length of the muscles. Trying to find those spots that need some attention. Now, let's also work the ball across. So rolling all the way across the quad muscle zone. Again, try and take it slow or, pause a couple of times in those areas that are particularly tender. Again, trying to get enough pressure so at least you feel some mild discomfort. And if you're willing to push a bit harder into sort of a moderate discomfort, do so as well. Now, let's begin to work along that outside area of the thigh, along the IT band. One of the teachers that I did some work on, or took some courses with in terms of fascia work, he said what this is doing, one of the effects of this work is to start to, it helps to realign the fibers of the fascial fibers, to get them better organized, and also the fascia can become adhered to the muscle fibers. So the fascia should be able to glide gently over the muscle fibers, but sometimes it gets stuck. So let's now turn ourselves sideways, angle the thigh across the seat of the chair, and then bring the therapy ball to rest behind the thigh. Hopefully the foot is not resting on the floor. So, and then just begin to move that leg side to side. Rolling the therapy ball across the hamstring muscles. Come to a stillness. Flex the toes in towards the shin and lift and lower the leg we're working on. For 3, 4, 5, and 6. Bring that back down. And let's move the therapy ball. You can, depending on what place you chose, you began, either move it a bit closer to the up the body or down towards the knee. And then again, once again, move right to left, or roll the ball across the hamstring muscles by moving the leg side to side. And if you find a point that's a bit, needs some attention, just pause there and let the leg sink in, and hopefully you start to feel that muscle wrapping around the ball. And let's release. And we're going to now move to the opposite foot. And if you have a pair of therapy balls, or you're using 2 tennis balls, you might at this point just switch to the opposite ball. They do wear out, and it's almost like rotating the tires on your car. You know, we want to even out the wear between the pair of balls that we have. So roll back and forth across the toe bases. Heel is on the mat. And stop and come to the base of the big toe. Roll towards the heel and then all the way back towards the toe. Move one toe over and then repeat that movement from toe to heel Heel to toe, toe to heel, heel to toe, toe to heel, heel to toe, and finally toe to heel and heel to toe. Randomly move the ball around the foot. So you might shuffle the foot, you might move it around. Just move it around anywhere. Oh, and the one thing I forgot to do is bring the ball towards that arch at the front of the feet. Let the foot wrap itself around the ball. And so let that wrapping occur. Concentrate on your exhale breath. See if the muscles in the foot can relax any amount with the exhale breath to wrap around the ball. Now we'll pick up the ball. We're going to work on the inner calf. And you may notice some fairly substantial differences in the way this calf feels compared to the right calf that we started on. It might be tighter, it might feel less tight. It might feel exactly the same. There's no right answer. Going across. And now moving to the inner shin. Again, be gentle in this area. And also be gentle in any areas where you might have some varicose veins. Don't apply pressure to the area of a varicose vein. And move the toes while we're working in this section. Let's now move into this outer section of the shin. Again, moving the toes, the muscles in this area are the muscles that move the toes. And now the largest part of the calf muscle, that outer quadrant, that outer part of the Y of the calf muscle. And again, this is an area for me that I often experience a bit of tightness. So what we're doing is, again, through this, improving the circulation into the muscles. Let's go across. And now let's come up onto the quadriceps on the left side. So work along the quads. Let's go across. And then work along the IT band. Now, turning so we can angle the leg across the chair. We're just trying to get as much contact here between the back of the thigh as the chair and the chair as possible. Bring the ball somewhere sort of into the middle area of the hamstrings. Lift the foot away from the floor. Elevate the foot enough so that the back of the leg is still being supported by the ball. And again, this might be sort of an unpleasant situation. So move from side to side. Come back to center, and let's lift and lower the leg for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Either move the ball up or down to come to a different area of the hamstring muscles, and let's work back and forth. And again, come to a spot. Let the back of the leg be fully supported on the ball and lift and lower for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And let's set the ball aside. Or actually, let's just continue to do a little more work with the ball. Let's just bring the ball across, bring it onto the opposite shoulder, and work in those muscles in the upper back. The muscles, the trapezoid muscles that sweep up into the neck. And again, a place where if we're working on the computer, we're doing something that's causing us tension, it's a place where that tension tends to build up. And again, if you find a spot that feels particularly tender, bring as much pressure to bear on that spot as you can, and as much as you can tolerate. Let's now move over to the opposite shoulder. Again, work that shoulder. And make sure that when you're pressing into a particular area, you really bring your focus to the breath. and bring your focus to the relaxation that is occurring during your exhale breath, almost feeling the muscles melt away from the pressure of the ball during your exhale. Now, if you have two balls, let's just bring them into the hands and see if you can just cradle the balls in the hand. So interlace the fingers, cradle the balls in the hands, and let's take them to the back of the head, just around the occipital bone. I'm just going to slip my the wire of the microphone comes into that area. So slip that off. Bring the balls right underneath that ridge at the back of the neck and roll the head, or roll sort of a combination of rolling the head and the balls to massage the back of the skull, the back of the neck. Let's set the ball down. Just take one ball between the palms, roll it around and around, and then see if you can go in the opposite direction. Let's just work a bit on the forearm. Come up onto the biceps. Maybe around on the triceps. Go to the opposite arm. Onto the triceps and the back. And now let's set the balls aside. We'll come up to standing, and just the only element of standing practice we'll do today is our tree pose. So let's come up to standing beside our chair. Come to standing. Lift the outside heel. Establish the contact between the chair side foot. You can either stay right here, bring the heel to the ankle, to the calf, or up onto the inner thigh. Press the leg into the thigh and open the arms for tree. Draw the hands back together, release, and just sway that outside leg. Swing it like it was a pendulum. Come on to change the chair to the opposite side or turn around. Once again, the chair side foot becomes our foundation, and establish that foundation as you raise the heel. Perhaps bring the heel to the ankle, to the calf. or to the thigh. Open the arms. Draw back into center. Release and swing that leg. Come back onto your chair. We'll come to seated towards the front of our chair. Connect the feet to the floor, the seat to the seat of the chair. And do a quick scan of the body, observing if there's any changes that have occurred in the body as part of our practice. Find the breath. Inhale the arms overhead. And let's forward fold over the legs, either coming to the blocks, the floor, the thighs. And begin to slow the breath down in our forward fold. Take one more full round of the breath. Let the next inhale carry the arms overhead. Take the left hand to the outside of the right thigh and twist right. Inhale the arms overhead. Take the right hand to the outside of the left thigh and twist left. Inhale, come back to center. Take one cat-cow breath. Exhale. And slide yourself back in the chair. Let the back be supported by the back of the chair. Breathe here. And now begin to relax the breath. So just let the breath become even natural. And the breath that's not controlled, the involuntary breath that happens without our mind directing it. Let the body conform itself to the shape of the chair. And finally, let the mind relax as fully as possible. Letting the body shape itself to the chair. Now let's begin to deepen the breath. Move the fingers, move the toes. Ankles and wrists. Take the arms to the side. Draw the hands overhead. Return them to heart center. And thank yourself for making time for this practice on this rather snowy morning when we might not have gotten out to an in-person practice. So thank each other for sharing your practice, for bringing that special energy that comes from practicing together. And thank you so much for the honor of allowing me to guide you through your practice today. Namaste.